Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala abdillahi wa rasulih. Nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We begin as always by praising Allah Azza wa Jal, by asking Allah to exalt the mention and grant peace to our Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family and his companions. That our children are a ni'mah, a blessing, and our children are a hibah, a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I think that when you realize the importance of our children, and you realize that they are a blessing, and you realize that they are a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that it is obligatory on you to show gratitude to Allah for this ni'mah and this hibah, this blessing and this gift, then that sets the scene for the importance of the rights of the children and their position in the family. Because when you realize the importance of something is when you realize its virtue. And here, it's not the virtue of the child that we want to talk about necessarily, as in the child as a child, but we want to talk about the virtue of having a child. The blessing and the gift that a child is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's what we are going to talk about today. The children as a ni'mah, as a blessing and a hibah, and as a gift from Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He told us in the Quran, لِلَّهِ مُلْكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ يَخْلُقُ مَا يَشَاءُ يَهَبُ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ إِنَاثًا وَيَهَبُ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ الذُّكُورَ أَوْ يُزَوِّجُهُمْ ذُكْرَانًا وَإِنَاثًا وَيَجْعَلُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ عَقِيمًا إِنَّهُ عَلِيمٌ قَدِيرٌ. Surah Ash-Shura, between ayah number 49 and ayah number 50. Everything in the heavens and the earth belongs to Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah Azza wa Jal, who is Al-Malik. Allah Azza wa Jal, who is Maliki Yawmiddin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything in the heavens and the earth belongs to Him. And so whatever we receive of blessings are gifts from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So to Allah belongs everything in the heavens and everything in the earth. Allah gives, or Allah creates whatever He wants. He gives male children to whoever He wants. And He gives female children to whoever He wants. Or He brings them together and gives male and female children. Some people have male and female children. And whoever He wants, He makes them barren. He gives them no children at all. Indeed, He is Alimun Qadir. He is knowing of everything and He is able to do everything. This ayah is one of the most fundamental proofs that our children are a gift from Allah Azza wa Jal. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Yahab liman yasha. Allah gives the gift of male children to whoever He wants. And He gives the gift of female children to whoever He wants. And He gives the gift of putting together male and female children, i.e. a mix of boys and girls, to whoever He wants. And whoever He wants, He leaves them without any children at all. And that's the nature of a gift, right? You can give a gift or withhold a gift. And there's no blame on a person whether they give a gift or withhold a gift. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى, to Allah belongs the highest example. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives this gift of children. And to some people, He gives only boys. To some, He gives only girls. To some, He gives a mix of boys and girls. And to some, He makes them without, or He makes it that they are without children at all. And that is from the ilm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from the knowledge of Allah and from His qudra, from His immense and perfect ability and perfect knowledge, that He distributes children in this way. And subhanAllah, in Islam, there is no kind of stigma attached to any of these situations, because a Muslim recognizes that this situation came from Allah Azza wa Jal. It came from Allah Azza wa Jal that you have only boys and don't have any girls. And you see the family that has only boys, and subhanAllah, perhaps they would wish for a girl. And there are some families that have only girls and perhaps they would wish for a boy. And there are some families that don't have any. They don't have any children at all. And we know how much a person wishes to have children. So all of this is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also this ayah, why I brought this ayah here, is to emphasize to you and to make you think about the situation of the one that doesn't have any children. وَيَجْعَلُ مَن يَشَاءُ عَقِيمًا. And He makes whoever He wishes barren without children. SubhanAllah, perhaps there would be a rich person from the richest of the people on this earth, and they would give ma fil ard. They would give everything on the earth, jami'an, all of it, to be able to have a child. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them aqim. He made them the situation that they don't have any children. That's from the knowledge of Allah and His ability, and the fact that Allah Azza wa Jal distributes the rizq to whoever He wants. Some people He gives money, some people He doesn't give money. Some people He gives children, some He doesn't give children. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives and distributes His rizq however He wants subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I brought this ayah for two reasons. Number one, to establish that children are a gift from Allah Azza wa Jal, and when you have a gift, you should always be grateful. It's a gift. Allah Azza wa Jal, He spoke about it using the word yahabu, to give a gift. Allah Azza wa Jal gave it as a hiba, as a gift. And if it's a gift, then whenever you're given a gift, you should be grateful. And when the gift is something that people crave for, and people would spend all the money that they have to achieve, and people try and they go for medical treatments and they go for all kinds of things which are both draining upon health and upon financial resources, only so that they can get this gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what is the situation like? How grateful should we be for the gift of children? For the gift of children. And just remember those who don't have any children and how hard it is for them to be appreciative of this gift that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. And every gift you are given deserves gratitude, and that shows us that we have to be grateful to Allah Azza wa Jal for everything that He has given us. And it also shows you that if you are from those people who are not able to have any children, or until now you haven't been able to have any children, then it also shows you that you need to seek this blessing from the one who has it. You can't ask a gift from the person that doesn't have that gift to give it to you. So like the people run around, maybe perhaps you see some of the people, they even go to the grave and they pray and they ask the person in the grave to give them children, or they go to the magician, or they go to the healer and they ask the healer to give them children. And perhaps some of them put complete faith in the doctor and they ask the doctor to give them children, not in the sense of just going for medical treatment and believing that the blessing comes from Allah, but actually believing and having complete trust and hope that the doctor can give them children. And ultimately, you need to realize that none of those people, this gift is not in their hands. They don't own it. They're not from the people, or they're not the one that Allah said, وَلِلَّهِ مُلْكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. To Allah belongs everything in the heavens and the earth. Allah creates what He wants. Allah gives this gift to whoever He wants. So if you're from those people who haven't been able to have children until now, and I say until now because there is no reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not decree for you to have children at a time that He knows subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're going to talk about the story of Zakaria and likewise Ibrahim alayhimus salam, regarding their children and having children late in life. This is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you need to seek this gift from the one who controls it and the one who possesses it. And that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's the one that controls this. He's the one that possesses it. So if you haven't been able to have children, and you are one of those people who want to have children, are trying to have children, but you couldn't, then make sure it is Allah Azza wa Jal that you are asking. And that doesn't mean that you can't seek a medical course or a medical treatment, or you can't seek a means that is from the means that Allah has placed in this earth in order to be able to have children. But ultimately, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So attach your heart to Allah and make your dua towards Allah and put your worship and your effort towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then take the causes and the means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed. And that's a principle in everything that we have in this world and everything that we want in this world. whatever it is, whether it is of wealth or children or anything from the zinatul hayati dunya, from the adornment of this world, is that we ask it from Allah Azza wa Jal, and we put our heart and attach our heart to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then we take whatever means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made permissible for us to take. On that topic, Allah Azza wa Jal said, الْمَالُ وَالْبَنُونَ زِينَةُ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَالْبَاقِيَاتُ الصَّالِحَاتُ خَيْرٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ ثَوَابًا وَخَيْرٌ أَمَلًا. Surah Al-Kahf, ayah number 46. Allah Azza wa Jal said, wealth and children are the adornment of the life of this world. And the baqiyatu salihat. Baqiyah, it means something that remains. And obviously salihah is something which is righteous. The righteous remains, or the remaining righteous things, are better in the sight of your Lord in reward and better in hope. SubhanAllah, think about this ayah. What a beautiful ayah. And we can definitely take a benefit from this in terms of our children are a ni'mah, that Allah Azza wa Jal, He described wealth and children as the adornment of this world. The adornment of this worldly life. It's like they are an adornment, something that makes this worldly life beautiful. Decorates it and makes it beautiful and makes it pleasing, is that you have wealth and children. And we said this is an evidence that wealth and children are both from the provision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the things that Allah Azza wa Jal gives to people as a gift. He gives it to some people, He doesn't give it to others. And to some He gives a lot, and to some He gives very few, and to some He doesn't give any at all subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah Azza wa Jal said, وَالْبَاقِيَاتُ الصَّالِحَاتِ, the righteous remaining, the things that are righteous that remain. So this is an interesting question. What are the baqiyatu salihat? What are these righteous things which remain, that are better in reward and better for, and better in hope? What are they? What are these things? I mean, how many people live their life hoping for money? How many live their life hoping for children? Seeking the rewards, the worldly rewards of having children. Like someone, continuing your lineage, like someone who is going to serve you when you're older, like someone who's going to provide income for you when your income has ceased, and so on. These are things that people seek from the rewards of the worldly life, from the matters of the worldly life, that they wish for children. So what are the baqiyatu salihat? The scholars of tafsir, they have a lot of different opinions. But here, all of their different opinions, they come back to one thing. And that are the baqiyatu salihat refer to the righteous good deeds. The righteous good deeds. And that could be the salawatul khams, the 5 daily prayers. It could be other things from the things that the scholars mentioned of tafsir. But ultimately, all of their opinions, generally speaking, can be summarized in the sense that al-baqiyatu salihat are the righteous good deeds. The righteous good deeds. Those are more important than what Allah Azza wa Jal has given you from wealth and children. And this gives us a principle. And that is that Allah Azza wa Jal gives the dunya to those whom He loves and those whom He doesn't. But He only gives the akhirah to those whom He loves. Allah Azza wa Jal gives the dunya to those who He loves. There are people who Allah loves in this dunya who have children. Many children. There are people whom Allah loves in this dunya that have lots of money. There are people whom Allah Azza wa Jal hates in this dunya that have many children. And there are people whom Allah hates in this dunya that have lots of money. Ultimately, you having children or having money and wealth doesn't make you beloved to Allah. It doesn't make you from the people who will have a high standing in the akhirah. What matters are the good deeds that you put forward. But here there's an interesting subtle point, a little subtlety or a little subtle point here, and that is you can use your wealth and your children to be from the baqiyatu salihat. You can make it from the deeds that remain by putting that effort in and by thanking Allah for that blessing and using that blessing to please Allah. The mal and the banoon, the wealth and the children that are the zina, the decoration of this worldly life, can become from the baqiyatu salihat, from the righteous good deeds that really matter. by using the blessings you have been given for Allah Azza wa Jal. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you that blessing, if Allah Azza wa Jal has given you the blessing, whether it be wealth, whether it be children, or anything else from the blessings, health or free time or knowledge, either knowledge of the worldly life or knowledge of the religion, which is even more important, whatever Allah has given you, use it and make it from the baqiyat as-salihat. Don't make it from something which is nothing more than the zinatul hayat ad-dunya, nothing more than the decoration of this world, because that doesn't distinguish the righteous from the people who are not righteous. Because Allah gives this dunya to those who He loves, or those whom He loves, and those whom He doesn't love. But Allah Azza wa Jal only gives the akhirah to those whom He loves. So use, and this is again another emphasis upon the blessing of your children, use the blessing of children to get near to Allah. Don't make it something that just decorates your worldly life for you, that just makes your life look beautiful, but make it something that really remains Yawm al-Qiyamah and is something which is worth it, and you've really shown gratitude to Allah Azza wa Jal for that particular blessing. Allah Azza wa Jal said in Surah Ali Imran, زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ وَالْبَنِينَ وَالْقَنَاطِيرِ الْمُقَنطَرَةِ مِنَ الذَّهَبِ وَالْفِضَّةِ وَالْخَيْلِ الْمُسَوَّمَةِ وَالْأَنْعَامِ وَالْحَرْثِ ذَلِكَ مَتَاعُ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَاللَّهُ عِنْدَهُ حُسْنُ الْمَآبِ. Allah Azza wa Jal said that people زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ, people have, it's been made beautiful to people. The love of ash-shahawat, the love of their desires, people's desires, and the love that they have for those desires have been made beautiful for them. Whether it be women, children, piles of gold and silver, branded horses, cattle, or land. These are all from the things that have been made beautiful to people. And I brought this because it is a ni'mah of Allah Azza wa Jal. All of these things are from the ni'am of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of these things are from the ni'am, from the blessings of Allah Azza wa Jal. An-nisa, to have a righteous wife. Al-banin, to have children. Al-qanatir al-muqantarati min al-dhahabi wal-fidda, gold and silver in piles upon piles. Horses, cattle, land, all of these are from the ni'am of Allah Azza wa Jal. But ultimately they are from the things that can be used for good or for evil, and can be used to please Allah, or can be used to anger Allah, or can become from the things which are just neutral, which don't benefit you anything. They neither benefited you nor they harmed you. So again, it's about seeing the blessing of children. Look at how Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned this. The children, He mentioned it second in the list of these things that people love to have. So if you've been given something people love to have, you have to use it in a way that is pleasing to Allah Azza wa Jal. This is the mata'ul hayati dunya. It is the provision and the temporary enjoyment of this life. But Allah Azza wa Jal, the final destination and the beauty and the amazing nature of the akhirah, this is what is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we said, the hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ said, "Ad-dunya mata'," this world is nothing but a temporary enjoyment. And the best temporary enjoyment is al-mar'atu salihah, a righteous wife. And Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned after the righteous wife, Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned from the mata' dunya, from the adornment and the temporary enjoyment of the dunya, is children. And so children are a blessing and a gift from Allah Azza wa Jal, who controls everything in the heavens and everything in the earth. That's all we have time for in this episode. Insha'Allah ta'ala, we're going to be continuing with the theme that our children are a gift in the next episode, but we're also going to look at the fact that our children are a test and a trial. And so it's not just that our children are a gift and a blessing, but they're also a test and a trial. And we're going to look at that also in the next episode, insha'Allah ta'ala. That's what Allah made easy for me to mention in the time that I have, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Wassalatu wassalam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.